Okay, so starting this one off, welcome back to Battlefield 2042. I've had a lot of people recently say that they're sick and tired of hearing the same thing over and over again about the game, and that I'm always beating the same dead horse, I'm never mixing up the content, all that sort of stuff. If I do bring up an article or anything like that in my videos, it's always new info. It might just be a variation of something you've heard before. But I'm trying this one because I put out a community post saying, would you rather scripted commentary, so basically write a script about a specific topic and have random gameplay in the background, or would you rather see live commentary, so sit there, play the game, commentate over the top of it, and then just have like random topics spoken about in the video? However, I thought about mixing it up and doing an in-between sort of thing. And this happened about 5 minutes after putting out that community post, and you can't edit community posts that have a poll in them. So I was sitting there, I was like, why did I not just think of this before and add it in, because it's in between both? Or why did I put the community post out? It was too late to delete it, I had like 50 votes. And I wanted to just see the general reaction. So feedback on this video is greatly appreciated. If you're not currently subbed to the channel, make sure you do sub, turn notifications on. We won't have these sorts of intros in every single video like this. It's the first time I've done this in a very long time. It's essentially going to be like a story sort of thing based on the gameplay. Now, I've done this in the past, but I tried too hard and it sort of failed. So I'm revisiting, changing some things up, and we'll see how it goes. So if you do enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like. All support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to support me further as a creator, then check out the links in the description. And let's get into it. So basically, I'm playing through Battlefield 2042. I'm doing my rants, I'm doing my topics, all that sort of stuff. And even though a lot of times the stability is horrible, the performance is bad, all that stuff, so on and so forth, I am still thoroughly enjoying this game. However, I don't want my gameplay to just be I'm running Boris, using the sentry gun, I've got an M5A3, and I'm just running and gunning, running around like a headless chicken, dying loads, getting kills. I just want to mix things up and keep it fresh, and that's why in a recent video you would have seen some Wildcat AA footage. If I remember correctly, you also would have seen some Nightbird and also some tank passenger footage as well. But this time round I thought I'd give sniping a little go. And you guys know that my accuracy sucks. I die a lot, I barely get any kills, and it was exactly the same thing in this situation. I picked up a sniper, I jumped into the 128 player breakthrough mode, and I tried my hardest to snipe. And even though it was frustrating, constantly being picked off by all the players that are used to running a sniper, I eventually started getting the hang of it. And that's one thing that I've always done. I've never given up. I've always liked the challenge, I've always pushed. And that's with everything in my life. I've never sat back and just let things happen. So I sat there, I was persistent, I carried on with my sniping. The first match I played started on discarded, and I'm not going to show you any of that footage because dreadful doesn't even come close. It was absolutely diabolical with me trying to get kills. However, I stuck to it going into the next match. And that is the footage you are seeing in the background of this video. Sitting there playing breakthrough, I'm on renewal, I'm on the defense. If I was attacking, I would not be using a sniper personally. But I stuck to my guns, I was trying to find good positions. It all started off in the hills as they were pushing for the first sector. And yeah, still not getting the hang of it at this point. And this is my second match in, not a full match on discarded. But it's the second match into my little sniping adventure, and it wasn't going too well. I kept getting picked off, the enemies were pushing and pushing and pushing. We did go on to lose this match. The enemy team was incredibly aggressive, and I might not have contributed to any defense besides maybe stopping one enemy pushing a little bit by killing them with the sniper. But as we were losing sectors, we were getting pushed back, I just carried on. I didn't give up. And on renewal, you have the desert side of things is the first lot of sectors. And then you slowly progress backwards and you come through the massive wall that splits the map into the grass area with a couple of buildings at the back. But we're talking more towards the late game, providing the team that's attacking can actually push up and take over a couple of sectors. But that's where it started to get good for me. I started to get the hang of it. I did, in the desert section, manage to pull off a 480 meter headshot. And I know there's not a distance tracker in Battlefield 2042. It doesn't pop up on the little feed of assists or kills or whatever where you get your XP. So what I did was, when I got that kill, I made sure I looked at the area I killed the player and I pinged that location. It said 470 meters. It felt good. I was like, okay, I'm getting the hang of it. There's not a lot of bullet drop in 2042 at all. But then we started getting pushed further and further back. We switched over to the grass side of the map. And when you play as a sniper in any game, you try and find, unless you're running around with an ACOG or a hollow sight and you're just picking people off from close range, if you want that longer range gameplay, you're tending to sit on rooftops, find a good bit of cover, make sure that you're out of the main lane of where all the combat's going on. As some people would call it, you're sitting there camping. But typically you'll find that snipers are up high, like the highest they can possibly be, and they're just sat out of the main area of combat, so somewhere at the side of the map. And that's exactly what I did. And as the players were pushing through the gate, I managed to get myself a couple of kills here and there, and it just carried on the same. Like, you would have people picking me off left, right and centre. But I really want to level up my snipers. I want to get some better attachments and stuff for them. I want to be able to enjoy lots of different aspects of the game and not just run and gun with an M5A3. So you will at some point, providing there's basically a story to go with it, you will see more sniping gameplay from me, no matter how cringy it is. But then, the thing is with this, you're supposed to have 64 against 64. It's a 128 player mode. And I don't know if the lobby did fill up at the end, but at the very start it was about 35 against 35. So there were a lot, and I mean a lot of bots. We're talking like 58 bots in this match. So that's 70 human players, 58 bots. That's almost a complete 50-50 split. And I mean, that's because of all the issues within the game. People are just like, the player count is falling off across every single platform. But the thing is, with this AI, it just, like, they can be incredibly accurate from time to time. You'll see them picking off like crazy shots. But I think because of like the different players on the team and how people want to play, all the different play styles and stuff, we just kept being pushed back, and it was rapid. Like, one of the sectors was taken in the matter of a couple of minutes because people just weren't defending, and I know I wasn't contributing, I was sniping. But you would think with teams of 64 there would be enough players sat there defending the objective so that the snipers can play like how the snipers would like to play. But it didn't work like that, and we got pushed back to the final objective fairly quick. But when we got there, that's where I really got comfortable with the sniping. So I was sat on the building at the very back of the map, like pretty much one of the objectives. I think I was about 70 or 80 meters away. And you had players from the enemy team, the snipers on the enemy team, sat on the main wall in the middle. This is about 380 meters away from where I was. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying to get used to the sniping. And I'm shooting way too high because I'm still not completely used to the bullet drop. But I eventually did get comfortable with it, and I found the range and like how much the bullet is going to dip. So I started picking off a few heads here and there, and it was going really well. I was thoroughly enjoying it at this point. And I'm so glad I was persistent, I stuck with it, because it's what happens when you change up how you play a game. It is going to be completely different every single game you play. Not only that, every single weapon you're using, you might want to try a 6x scope, an 8x scope. The game you're playing might have really bad bullet drop, the game might have none at all. So it's all about getting used to it, and I mean, this sort of stuff happens all the time. You sit on a rooftop, there's enemies the furthest point away from you on a rooftop, or on top of a gigantic wall in this scenario, and you're just pinging shots back and forth, just across to each other. And I've had it before in games where we must have both run out of ammo. The amount of shots we've taken at each other are missed. But for some reason I was landing my shots every now and then. Like, unless the player was like strafing to avoid getting hit, Because one thing you don't want to do as a sniper, even though you're a sniper, you don't want to sit still. That's what's going to get you picked off most of the time. But in the end, started getting some decent kills, got killed myself quite a few times, and then all of a sudden, it went to complete shit. And the only reason it went to complete shit is because the enemy team managed to advance enough so they had wildcats, they had tanks and everything just pushing the objectives. Not only that, one really annoying thing about Battlefield is the choppers and the jets. Mainly the choppers, the jets aren't too bad. But you can just be sitting there sniping, minding your own business, and you'll have a night bird come out of nowhere and they just start ploughing rockets into your location. And a lot of the time, because the vehicles are so strong in this game, you get obliterated and there's nothing you can do. And that's one of the reasons I run ammo and I run the tactical insertion. I was using Boris with a sentry gun, but I've switched out for Angel so I can get the ammo. Because if I'm lucky enough to survive in one certain part of the map, then I've got the ammo to keep myself covered so I don't run out. And I've got the tac insertion if there are any people in choppers and stuff. Or just in general if I do get sniped or have someone run up to my position with an M5A3 and just win every single gunfight because I'm trying to rock an 8x scope. A lot of the time you can't be quick enough in the game to pull out your secondary and drop the player that's got an AR. But we were getting closer to the end, vehicles flooding in, players all over the place, no one left on this wall. Players all just disappeared from this wall entirely. And then eventually we had players actually pushing up onto the roof where we were. So they were sat in a little doorway, we were just outside that doorway. On the lower section of the roof, you had teammates on the higher section that weren't really bothering. I managed to get myself a really nice grenade kill. And then all of a sudden, one objective is captured. They start capturing the second one. We do start taking it back for a little bit. And then we just got overrun. They capped the objective. Game over. And then you see the crazy stats at the end where someone's getting near on 200 assists. It's like, what the fuck are you doing to get that many? And how many kills have you got? And I know it's far too little too late when the scoreboard does come in March, but simply because of things like that, with players getting well over 150 assists in a single game, I'm interested to see the amount of kills people are actually getting. So yeah, that was my little sniping adventure on 2042. As I said, feedback on this type of video is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy it, I'll definitely come back with more. I'll mix up the gameplay, I'll keep it fresh, I'll give it different titles and stuff, and we'll see how it goes. I will have scripted commentaries on the channel still. When I say scripted, I mean specific topics I find from articles and just different things like that. If something breaks in the game, like if they put out an update, I'll let you guys know and all that sort of stuff. And then I might even do just your general live commentary as well. Just keep things fresh on the channel. But this sort of stuff, sitting here, just having a chat, it's all really enjoyable for me. I absolutely love all of it, and I really do hope you guys enjoy it too. But that's going to wrap this one up. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed it.